Hello, this presentation is about Maria Montessori. Maria Montessori was the creator of what we know as the Montessori method, in which in the United States there are more than 4,000 schools. She was born in Marche, Italy on August 31st, 1870, graduated from the University of Rome La Sapienza Medical School. She later practiced as a physician and used a lot of clinical observation methods, which spurred the development of her Montessori method. She died on May 6, 1952, in the Netherlands. Her main ideas included the belief in an interior spiritual force in children that spur their independent work. That naturally children want to work independently and learn things on their own. And one thing that she said is that teacher, when she begins work in our schools, must have a kind of faith that the child will reveal himself through work. And this work should be observed by the teacher, since children experience sensitive periods or windows of opportunity when lessons are most easily absorbed. These opportunities should be taken advantage of by the teachers in that they create and apply appropriate lessons and materials to each individual student's stage of development and these windows. If they don't take advantage of these windows, Montessori believed that the child will lose the ability to acquire such skills and also learn the order. They will lack the ability to learn order or structure for their learning process. Many of these ideas directly applied to education, since she in herself was more of an educational philosopher, dealt with the application of education philosophy. She believed that a lot of sensory motor activities should be applied, and therefore early child education does begin with sensory motor activities. All of these activities have natural logical consequences, and that all activities, informal assessments, have natural consequences and are self-correcting. So a teacher does not have to intervene and tell a student how to properly use a manipulative or how to do an activity. A student should be able to come into their classroom and do it. Classrooms are very comfortable and organic, with natural lighting, shelving accessible to students, no desks, reading in quiet corners, and comfortable furnishings. Teachers function as guides and work together with the students and this environment. Students may also range in age with up to a 3-year gap, because these windows of opportunity do vary slightly depending on the student. So Montessori method was in contrast with the method of Froebel, who was the beginner of what we know to be the kindergarten method. The Froebel was a lot more structured and didn't allow the same kind of freedom. But Montessori was said to put too much emphasis on practical skills and not enough on creativity or the use of the imagination. The other criticism was that the clinical observation method that she used was not seen as credible because it wasn't using a realistic or appropriate student population. And therefore, the method may be ill-fit for children with intellectual disabilities. I do agree, by looking at the research, that it doesn't seem to fit students with specific or varying needs, especially ones with intellectual disabilities. So there are tweaks that need to happen with this method if it needs to be applied. There are little to no opportunities for creativity because it does focus on practical skills. However, the idea of providing activities with natural logical consequences could be applicable in any subject and grade level, and it does link to the idea of providing very authentic assignments, which I like. The structure and classroom design, I think, could be very useful when teaching concrete ideas and skills and facilitating self-sufficient learning and providing a more student-centered, constructivist learning environment. And the last question I have, if students aren't introduced to the Montessori method early on, such as in the early primary grades, then what strategies would be implemented in transitioning the older students so that they do succeed along with the students begun very early in the method? Okay, thank you.